Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Competed pretty well, I think. I wanted to win a medal, but fifth place isn't too bad. The weather was nice. Got to see a lot of stuff that I've never seen before, so that was exciting.
Right here, Warren.
Devon, from being in track and being, I guess how you prepare for track, how much different is it for you to prepare back into football to make that transition?
It's a lot different. I didn't really do too much the last couple of days, and my groin's already sore, my hamstrings and stuff. Just using different muscles than I usually use. But what I do pretty much at receiver is based on like speed, so that's something that track plays into very well. And yeah, just got to get back into the flow of things with the lingo and the plays and blocking and all that stuff. And I think that'll go with time, I think.
Devon, how motivating was it in Rio knowing that your team was back here watching, and did you feel their support down there?
Yeah, it was very cool. I knew they were going to be watching, so I made sure I gave them a little shout out on the TV so you could see it. So that was a lot of fun. I saw a lot of the videos of the guys watching in the theater and taking Snapchats and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Right in the middle, Kristen.
I know we've talked with the compliance office about potentially you going pro in track. Have you made that decision, or when do you think you will make that decision?
I mean, that's a tough question to ask. I guess like going pro, it kind of means a few different things. Like I can't sign an endorsement technically, but I can accept prize money and stuff like that based on races. And so, yeah.
But have you decided if you will go pro, or?
I mean, I think so. I think that's the case so far. I haven't accepted any prize money yet, but I haven't had the opportunity just because I've been traveling and stuff.
Jerry, Forsyth.
Devon, did the experience at the Olympics change your perspective on life, football, just going forward? How did that affect you?
It's cool. I just think sports is something that could take you a lot of places. I've never really been outside the country other than like Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. So going somewhere a little bit further because of sports is pretty cool. And I think, next year World Championships are in London. The year after that, we're going to have indoors, and then the Olympics are going to be in Tokyo the next time. So I think it's kind of cool to get to travel and explore some places and compete in different countries.
Right here in the middle, Matt.
Devon, since you completed competing in Rio, was there ever a point where you kind of thought back of all you've accomplished on the track and maybe thought, this is what I want to do full time? And then if so, what pulls you back to wanting to play football?
Really the coaches and my teammates here. Football is a great thing, but it doesn't last forever. And I just, I love these guys on the team here, and I just want to play with them as long as I can. So, that's pretty much the deciding factor on me whether to come back or not. And, so I'm back here.
Right here, Austin.
Devon, just to make sure, so you're thinking you probably won't run college track then in the spring, or have you made that decision?
I haven't really decided yet, but there's I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I guess for me it's just there's not really much more I can do in college track other than break the collegiate record, which I was a couple hundredths off. But yeah, indoor, outdoor champion, other than winning a team title, which we did, you can't do much more.
Yeah. Coming off last football season, how did you feel? Did you feel like at any point last year on the football field, you ever got back to where you were before your?
Yeah, I don't think so. During last season, I just didn't feel great. Obviously I felt good enough to play and to contribute and help my team whatever they needed. So this year I feel a lot better. I got pretty much finished rehab, and I'm kind of into the I'm fine mode. So I'm going into the season just like I went to the season 2 years ago as a redshirt freshman, ready to play and contribute.
Back right, Mike.
Back here, Devon. Did you get to sort of soak in Rio? Did you get to go see some of the other events that you wanted to? Did you get to take in the moment of the opening ceremonies that you wanted to? Can you sort of pack the experience in?
Yeah. I got to see like basketball, volleyball, handball. I watched swimming and cycling. Cycling's pretty cool. I might want to pick that up after I'm done with football and track. And then fencing, which is amazing too. So I got to see a lot of the competitions. Got to visit all the beaches in Rio, and then went to like Christ Redeemer and Sugarloaf Mountains, and kind of went around the city and explored it, which was very cool. I did that with my family the day after I was done competing.
Was the whole trip sort of what you expected? Was it more?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much as I expected. I didn't really expect that the travel was going to wear on me so much because it took me a few days to get back after, I got there the 5th, and I didn't really start feeling good till like the 8th. But other than that, the travel part that I've never done before. But other than that, it felt just like normal. The village was nice. It was easy to get around it. Like they have Uber down there, so it was really easy to get around if you weren't on a bus or a shuttle.
Just a couple questions. Did you go unnoticed? Was it kind of nice to go unnoticed in a foreign country as opposed to maybe being around here? And do you feel the pull of professional football? Do you think that might be in your future as well?
Yeah, I think in Rio, I mean, there's a lot of great athletes. Athletes that I grew up watching and stuff like that. So I get to see those guys. It was kind of cool. A few people were like, "Oh, you're the guy that plays football and runs track." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." But other than that, it was really cool just being around so many great athletes. And I think, like you said, the pool of the NFL is something that I've kind of dreamed about doing, just like I dreamed about running in the Olympics. And I've kind of accomplished that Olympic dream. Obviously, in 4 years, I want to win a gold medal. So that's one more stepping stone to that dream. But now my next dream is to play in the NFL. And, the Super Bowl is obviously the height of that sport too. So.
Back right, Aaron.
Devin, even though you were competing in the Olympics, was there a part of you, the football part of you, that felt like you were missing something back in Eugene ever? Feeling guilty because you were missing practice at all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's tough because as a football player, I know I'm not going to be as prepared as I would have been if I did all the fall camp coming into the first game. But it also was, as an athlete, kind of nice to not have to do fall camp just because, just honest, it's tough. There's a lot of practice, a lot of mental. Like we have meetings all the time. We're here all day from like 7 to 8 p.m. So it kind of takes up 3 weeks of your life. So I was elsewhere for 3 weeks, and it was kind of nice. But now I'm getting back into it. I kind of wish, I wish I would have been doing something a little bit more. But I'll be back as soon as possible, I think.
Back left here.
Do you think you'll be ready in time for opening game?
I think so. I mean, I know the plays pretty well. Obviously, I went through some stuff today, and kind of was like, okay, well, maybe I need to brush up on some stuff. So I got about a week to do that. But we'll see. As long as Coach Helf and Coach Lubick see fit that I'm ready to play, they're gonna throw me in there and kind of just go with the flow and get reps, and the reps will grow as the season goes. And I think we have a lot of guys that can make plays too, so it's not really a dire need for me to play, anytime soon.
You're in the middle, Kristen.
After you raced in the finals, did you talk at all with some of those more veteran guys or getting good advice from them?
A little bit, some of them like French and Spanish, so they can't really. I mean, they understood English enough. That's the cool thing about being in Rio. I didn't really realize is a lot of countries they speak English, so I kind of feel bad not knowing any other language. But so I can communicate a little bit. But it's tough just because there's that little bit of a language barrier. But since we're all hurdlers, we kind of know we fill each other out. And I think those guys have been doing it for a while. And I think being in a final Olympic final, especially with my training partner Jonathan Cabral right next to me, that's pretty cool. And so getting to experience that, I think it was a big deal. And I think that just kind of adds to my experience as I start competing, more international competitions against more professional athletes. Same thing with college football.
Right here, Austin.
You probably don't get starstruck very much anymore, but was there anybody you met at Rio that was like, wow, this is really cool? Did you talk to Bolt or anybody?
I did see Bolt. I didn't talk to him. I got to see him, which was cool. I watched the March 100 final. Pretty much all the track athletes that I grew up watching, like Sean Merritt and all those guys. That was pretty cool to see. I met a lot of the swimmers. I went to swimming a couple of times, and that was cool, just because they're so good. And a lot of the kids are in, college still, which is cool because you have that in common. Made friends with the fencers, which is kind of cool. I actually rode back from the USA house with a fencer named Alex, and he won a silver medal. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So we just chatted up. He's like, yeah, I go to Stanford. I'm a junior. I'm like, oh, yeah, me too. I go to Oregon. Oh, cool. He's like, you guys got us last year. And it's like, we'll see how it goes this year. So it was cool just because you have a lot in common with a lot of the younger athletes in the village, which was pretty cool.
You were obviously not watching the coverage on NBC of the Olympics, but I can tell you, and you probably heard from other people, that I think your full name was Oregon Duck Devon Allen. Mm-hmm. I mean, they mentioned the school. Your story was one of the stories of the Olympics that really was a pretty high profile, I think, for those few days. Talk about a little bit just knowing that you helped raise the profile of this program and the school, and that's an asset.
Yeah, I think Oregon has a pretty big name already, so anybody associated with Oregon is going to get a little bit more pub. I think it's just kind of cool, because I'm still in college representing, the country as well as my school and myself and my family. And just to kind of know that people are like, so many Oregon fans were like, tweeting me or whatever, like messaging me, saying, hey, good luck, nice job, congrats, all that stuff. And it just makes you feel good as an athlete because you have a lot of people behind you and rooting for you. So, which is very cool. And then, like you said, the coverage was great. I had a lot of people say that I was on TV a lot, which is cool because you always want to be on TV. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I just went in there and made sure I had a good time, had fun, and had a blast, and competed well. And I think I did that. Obviously, as a competitor, you always want to win, but it doesn't happen all the time. So, like a lot of people say, you have about 24 hours to kind of grieve, which is why I couldn't sleep that night. But the next day I hung out with my family and visited all those beautiful things in Rio, and I kind of got over it. So it was good.
Jerry?
Got to ask you, we were anxious to watch the opening ceremonies and hope to get a chance to see you. But they were doing interviews in the staging area, and there you were in the background chowing down on popcorn and enjoying it pretty well. Did anybody talk to you about that or say
I had a lot of friends send me that picture. If anybody knows me, I eat a lot, and that's one of the things. A lot of the linemen, they make fun of me because they used to call me Fat Devon. They say I wish Fat Devon was back. He was like this. He was way cooler, way nicer. He was more fun to hang out with. And that was like when I was a freshman. And then when I was hurt 2 years ago, I get over about 200 pounds, so it's a little bit bigger for me. They made fun of me and say, "Oh, he's like, I don't think you're gonna run well because you're eating so much. Fat Devon might be back." And I was like, I assured them that was the only meal I had, the last 6 hours. That's why I was so hungry. So.
Good. Anybody else? Awesome.
Great.
Thanks, Devin.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I can tell you personally, you're big with 3-year-olds.
Great. I know, it's all right. I know, I just got out of the shower too. So.
You're good.
Yeah, thanks, guys.